police arrested Luis Mendez Gomez and Frank Montes Davila. They were arrested yesterday and now charged with felony burglary and retail theft. Mendez Gomez was also cited for driving without a license. Police say the men went into Oak Brook Macy's with 2 bags and started filling them with items. Officers took them into custody not long after. The bags allegedly contained 16 high-end fragrances and a pair of pants. This is the second time in a little more than a week that migrants have been charged with stealing from the Oak Brook Macy's.
From Sheepshead Bay to Lower Manhattan, police say a gang of recent migrants from Venezuela terrorized New Yorkers, robbing them violently and then hacking their phones to drain bank accounts of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Police say this is one part of one migrant gang, and there are others. Here, a thief on a moped violently steals a purse, but most importantly, a phone. The phone is then hacked to drain the person's bank accounts. This one pattern has nearly 150 victims, but is part of a larger pattern of criminal gangs police say they have discovered in the migrant community.
Now here at 4 o'clock, more migrants arrive in Chicago as concerns grow over lack of housing and overcrowded police stations. Sources telling WGN several migrants have now been involved in altercations with officers.
12th District Chicago police officers about 6:20 this morning dealing with an increasingly tense situation, taking 2 alleged offenders into custody, police sources identifying the offenders as migrants. News Affairs calling the individuals in question offenders. The first individual allegedly taking property from the district, attempting to flee, we're told, while a second migrant allegedly battered a responding officer who sustained minor injuries, police say, transported to an area hospital in good condition.
Elvis Jesus Hernandez Pernalete, who also goes by Luis Guevara, has been charged with criminal sexual abuse, aggravated battery and strangulation, robbery and attempted robbery. According to UIC police, around 8 p.m. on March 16th, the Venezuelan migrant followed a woman from the UIC Halsted Blue Line station near Harrison and Morgan Streets, then physically and sexually assaulted her and stole her belongings. Court documents reveal this was not the first woman Pernalete followed from a train stop and attacked. Plus, in early March, he allegedly stole about $140 worth of merchandise from TJ Maxx.
This man who entered the United States illegally is facing murder charges in Michigan after the death and carjacking of a 25-year-old woman he was dating. Police say Brandon Ortiz Vite used a handgun he bought illegally to shoot Ruby Garcia multiple times on Friday before leaving her body on the freeway and driving off in her car. Federal officials say he is from Mexico and was deported from the U.S. back in 2020, but returned.
We're outside of the Kent County Jail where he's being housed right now. He's facing 5 felony charges, including murder and carjacking. He admitted to illegally purchasing the gun that he used to kill Garcia and confessed to shooting her in her car multiple times following an argument and then leaving her body on the side of the road.
Open border, an illegal immigrant now accused of killing a mother and son while driving drunk, and he had already been deported multiple times before his latest arrest. Alicia Cunha is live in Denver to fill in the missing pieces on this story. Lisa, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Bill. 4 times, ICE officials tell Fox News they deported the suspect, Jose Menevar. And if convicted in this deadly crash, it will be his 6th DUI. In a bond hearing yesterday, the judge agreed to a $250,000 cash bond. Witnesses say Menevar was driving about 100 miles an hour when he slammed into the car Melissa Powell and her 16-year-old son Reardon were driving. Menevar is charged with killing them both. Toxicology results show his blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. ICE tells Fox Menevar is from El Salvador and was first removed from this country in 2009. When in the U.S., he has been in and out of jail. Bill, listen to this. 4 days before the deadly accident, he pled guilty to a previous DUI offense. According to court documents, Boulder County Judge Zachary Malkinson sentenced him to probation and work release, even as prosecutors requested a year in jail.
Meanwhile, hotels in Santa Monica and Los Angeles are being accused of hiring migrants to replace striking workers. The LA County District Attorney's Office and the Hotel Workers Union now saying some of the hotels are exploiting the desperation of the migrants by giving them these jobs without paying them fair wages.
Tonight, another major U.S. city, San Diego, buckling as it grapples with a growing number of migrants. Border Patrol dropping off hundreds of people at local bus stops from as far away as China and as close as Mexico.
Colombia. I'm from Senegal. I'm from Chad.
Volunteers were told to expect more than 350 street releases in the metro area on Friday alone.
In a crowded Oakbrook shopping center, prosecutors say 2 men from Venezuela were caught stealing $750 in clothing from Macy's. When police tried to stop them, one of the men refused, trying to get away before he was brought to the ground and handcuffed. Friday, 3 migrants, also from Venezuela, who've been living in Waukegan, allegedly took $500 worth of merchandise from Kohl's in Elmhurst. In that case, they were carrying a large magnet to thwart the store's anti-theft devices. All 5 people were arrested and charged.
The Hamilton Police Department says Furman Garcia Gutierrez is an illegal immigrant who's been to jail nearly a dozen times, deported 7 times. They say he used at least 7 names and 3 birth dates since his first arrest back in 2001. A sheriff saying these are all of his mugshots, at least, right here on the screen, the ones that they know of.
Members of the Venezuelan gang trained to Aragua.
In the Norwood section of the Bronx yesterday. That was a surprise. Authorities say they were part of a heavily armed group of migrants allegedly selling drugs after taking over this multi-family house. They were squatting there despite the landlord trying to get them out.
Yes, I got you.
8 arrested last week. The DA's office was asking for bail, but 6 were set free on supervised release by a judge, while the other 2 were being held due to prior arrests. But some of those 6, they also had prior arrests.
Office arrested these 3 men. Spokesperson for the sheriff's office says all 3 are undocumented immigrants from Guatemala. They face various charges, but the sheriff's office says they forced a woman into a car, then committed sexual battery on her at 2 different locations before the woman escaped, then flagged a passerby nearby for help.
That was part of the 911 call released by Yonkers Police. Body cam video shows officers pulling up to the Ramada's front entrance. Once they go inside, they handcuff 35-year-old Arnell Kent. You can see them struggling to get him out of the hotel lobby. The arrest then spills out into the parking lot, where another woman can be seen trying to block police from putting Kent into the back of the patrol car. Police say they waited for things to calm down before attempting to arrest the woman, who they identify as 24-year-old Yanilet Hernandez. Police say Hernandez attempted to strike several officers after they arrested her for obstructing the arrest of Kent. You could see multiple officers tackling her to the ground in the struggle. Police say one